everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Dr. Princess Fumi Hancock. I'm a board-certified psychiatric mental health doctor of nurse practice based in Arizona with full of Bethesda, pobpsychiatry.com. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about the signs of being bipolar. A lot of times people will come to my clinic and some of them are misdiagnosed as just having depression, and then they're placed on antidepressants. And before you know it, I call them dancing off the chandelier, not being able to sit still, they're restless, and they don't understand it. And some of them, because they come from silent cultures where their family is not telling them if there's somebody in down the line that has bipolar, so they're not sure if they have bipolar. And so I wanted to chat a little bit today about bipolar disorder, right? Let's talk a little bit about that and just particularly just pointing at the signs of bipolar. So when you say bi, right? Bi underscore bi, that's two. Polar, extreme worlds, right? So when you say bipolar, which means somebody who's experiencing two extreme worlds, that's an easy way to just put it, right? Unipolar is one, right? So depression is an example of unipolar disease process, which is uni, one, depression. Bi is you actually have two things going on at the same time. So when you talk about bipolar, right, it's among the most common mood disorders, which I tell you what, several years ago when I started this practice, um, I would see literally, particularly with my veterans, I would see their they come to me with diagnosis of depression, and I'll be looking at them with all these antidepressants, changing from one antidepressant to the other, and nothing working. And they'll tell me how manic they are. I'm going to talk to you about mania later, and they'll tell me how manic they are. And then I found myself almost always re-diagnosing them with bipolar. And then after a while, because of the stigma, they would not fess up. But after a while, they start telling me, oh, my dad is bipolar. Oh, yes, my mom is. Oh, yeah, I got a sister that is bipolar, and things like that, right? So it's important, whether you're a parent, it's important for you to know and understand the signs to look out for. Whether you are the adult themselves that is feeling those signs, it's important for you to know that. Several weeks ago, I had a woman that came to me who said that she had gone to another psychiatrist and she was told that she had bipolar, and she didn't believe that she had bipolar. So here you go. She comes to me because she wanted to prove that she did not have bipolar. All right. So it's important that we understand this, particularly with the atmosphere that we're in right now. There's so much unrest around us. There's so much people angry around us. So just so many things happening to our kids and even happening to us as adults. So again, bipolar is among the most common, right? Amongst the most common mood disorder. And it is most often known for behavior that may mimic moodiness, right? Have you ever heard someone that they'll say, oh, he's so moody, she's just moody. 1 minute he's up, tomorrow she's down, or even in the same span of 5 minutes, he's happy today, and then in 5 minutes later, he's chopping people's head off. Well, yeah, that's what you call a mood swing, right? So it's very important that we do understand what this is. I've already defined what mood bipolar, what it means, right? So which means there are different types of bipolar. Right? There are different types of it. You have one that is bipolar 1, where it is mostly mania. Mania, when we talk about mania, they are restless, their mind is going at the speed of light, they're very impulsive, they're very compulsive, they are just on the go, go, go. In fact, I've literally had people, you won't believe this, I've literally had patients that have come to me who are more depressed and come to me and say, well, Dr. Hancock, do you think you have a medication that can bump me into mania? Because I got to do some work. I'm tired of just laying down in bed. And I've been looking at them like, no, you don't want that. No, you don't. And they say, no, no, no. Yes, I do want it. I want to be manic a little bit because I need to get work done. Because people, right, People think that those who are mostly manic, they are fun to be with because they're on the go, go, go. They can just make things happen for themselves. Never mind if they get into a whole lot of trouble, but ignore that. They're hypersexual. I mean, so many things going on with someone who is bipolar 1. Right. But now that doesn't mean they do not get depressed. It's just that they hang out the most in the manic episodes. So now you have the second one, which is bipolar 2. Okay. So the bipolar 2 is the flip side of the bipolar 1. The bipolar 2 is mostly depressed. They are mostly in the house. They don't want to get out. They want to get out of bed. They don't want to deal with people. They are agitated. They are irritated. They have difficulty falling asleep. They have difficulty staying asleep. They just want to be by themselves. They are irritated by every second of the hour. They just don't have the energy to get up and do anything. Their energy is extremely low. Now, let me tell you something. They do go through mania too. But most times is hypomania, so that their manic episodes is hiding behind the depression. They are mostly depressed. Okay. So then you have the ones that I call catch me if you can. All right. Those ones are the cyclical ones where, you know what? They're depressed now before you can say oops, they bumped, they bumped into manic episode. And because before you can say, oh, he's manic, they're back into depression. So I often call them by catch me if you can people. So these are the three types of bipolar. It is important that we understand it. It is important that we know what it means so that when you start feeling, when you start seeing this, you absolutely seek help. Now, bipolar disorder, let me just say this, it is not symptomatic of a personality disorder. All right. All right. Because you have bipolar disorder don't mean that, okay, there's this personality disorder going on with you, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that you'll have anxiety all the time either. I actually have people who are bipolar that do not experience anxiety disorder. All right. So it's important that we're able to really, really, know the difference between all of this. But when you talk about mania, they are high energy. They can, when they are manic, they would do, they can do a whole thing, a whole lot of things, a whole lot of work. They keep going, but you have to know the difference between, someone who is just inspired to work versus someone who is extremely manic. And so when we talk about that, right, let's talk about uh, the four, four symptoms of manic episode. I just want to mention four, right, which I've discussed already. One is the increase in energy. They are so energetic. They are on the go. Yes, let's make this happen. Then. They are very hyper, to a point of out of control feelings, right? So they have that. It's almost like they're constantly having like an adrenaline rush, always wanting to be at the edge of, things, yeah, let me just stay at the edge of this, even though it's very dangerous for them. They want to stay at the edge of this. They also have a decreased need or desire for sleep. All right. If they only sleep two hours, they're fine with it. They get up and they keep going again. They're okay with it. Now, how many of you know that if you don't sleep for 3, 4, 5 days, there will be trouble, right? But with that, they sleep a little bit and bump, they're up doing their own thing again, just going. They have impulsive behavior, which means they do things without thinking. They do things on a whim. It's like, bang, dang, maybe I shouldn't have done that, but it's done now. Oh, well. That kind of behavior, they do that. They often have racing thoughts. Their heart rate. Now, let me say this. Those who are also depressed can have racing thoughts too. So, but here, they often have racing thoughts. Their heart rate is high. Their speech pattern is just like, they hardly let you say a word in because they just, before you start, they are on a roll already. So in manic episodes, people with bipolar may feel as though their thoughts are constantly moving a million miles an hour, and it's difficult to take hold of. All right. That is how they're always feeling. Now, when we talk about the depressive episodes, now I just talked about the manic episode. When I talk about the depressive episode, we're talking about loss of interest in activities that they love to do before. For example, if they love biking, all of a sudden they don't want to bike anymore. They just want to stay in bed all day. They want to shut the shutters. They don't want lights to come in. They don't want nobody even knocking at their door to say, how are you doing? Right? They have lost, they're drained of energy. There's loss of energy. There's insomnia, which is lack of sleep, right? They're now having adequate sleep, which is actually causing a lot of problems for them. There are feelings of worthlessness. They don't, feelings of guilt, shame, even though it's not rational, but they're feeling all these kinds. They have extreme sadness that even when I say to them on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being really extreme, they will tell me 20 over 10. Right? They have a feeling of despair. They are overwhelmed. Every little thing overwhelms them. If you are going through all of this, here's what I'm going to tell you right now. As a board certified psychiatric mental health doctor of nurse practice, I am imploring you right now to seek help. Okay, seek help. I'm not necessarily telling you to go to a physician, right? But I'm telling you to seek help in the right place, which is seek help with somebody like me who is in your area. And thank goodness we also have telepsychiatry now, where if you are ashamed, if you are from a silent culture where you don't want to be shamed, you don't want anybody knowing, all you have to do is just push that button and here comes voila, somebody like me. So if you need help, please seek help. If you have more questions about this, please go to pobpsychiatry, pobpsychiatry.com, or you can just Google me. Just Google Dr. Princess Fumi, Fumi Hancock, and you can find me also on my personal web page, which is Dr. Fumi, Fumi Psych DNP. Until next time, be inspired, be motivated, be of sentimental value. Understand that you are the hero or heroine in your life story. So, to write your story. Until next time, see you and bye-bye.